Hello, my friends, and welcome back to a new week in a brand new Realm News. I'm your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. If you joined us last week, then you know we're thrilled to have RandyBishop back with us. Randy is not just a phenomenal Minecraft content creator, but also a talented musician, making waves with his band, the Belle Beat. Today, we're diving into part 2 of our conversation with Randy, picking up right where we left off. We'll explore his creative process, the evolution of his Minecraft world inspired by Detroit's Belle Isle, and how he masterfully balances content creation with his music career. We'll also touch on the latest Minecraft updates, server experiences, and the intricate lore he's woven into his gameplay. So, grab your pickaxe, settle in, and let's continue uncovering the artistry and insights of RandyBishop. Hello and welcome back to Realm News. I am your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. And if you've been tuning in last Thursday, then you know that Randy Bishop, a former guest to the show, is back. And he is a well-known Minecraft content creator and a really great musician. And I'm pleased to have him back. And this is part 2, where we're going to pick up from our last week's conversation where we left off. I was quizzing him on some of his creative process and tools that he uses to create his content. I was also asking him about some reflections from the past year when it comes to his builds and some of his content that he's made. I've asked him about like Matica, Flashback. We've just been covering so much stuff. So we're going to continue from that and dive into some of his experiences with Minecraft, the growth he's experienced when in his content creating, and some personal insights. So thank you again, Randy, for coming back to Realm News. It's a pleasure to have you back, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
And just to pick up from last week, I wanted to start off by asking you a question about your Minecraft experiences, such as, do you feel like your relationship with Minecraft has evolved since last time you've been on the show? How has that changed? How's it grown, or has it diminished?
I think it's deepened for sure. When you're dependent on it, like in content creation, I don't, maybe dependent is not the correct term to use, but reliant on it, I guess. For content creation, yeah, I think your relationship ends up deepening. I played the game. I was fairly new to it when I started content creation. I think I only played the game for like 5 years. And when you look at most content creators out there in the Minecraft space, it seems like everybody's been playing it since like the beta days or what have you. At least my impression, it's like, man, I'm the only one. And I think I mentioned this last time, but yeah, I was introduced to it because my son, who was 5 at the time, he was really wanted to play it and what have you. And then the pandemic hit and I'm like, okay, let's download it. And then I got hooked. But yeah, my relationship is deepened. When last year, when you interviewed me, I had, I guess, aspirations to play other games, maybe introduce other kind of similar sandboxy type of games to my channel. And that has kind of fallen to the wayside. I bought Hytale and I never ended up downloading Hytale. Right when I learned it doesn't have like any automation or redstone, it's like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be for me. Yeah. Maybe when it does have that, I might jump back in. But there was a few others like Lay of the Land. I was super interested in it and I've followed it on Steam, and that recently came out and I haven't even tried it yet because it's the same issue for me. If you don't have all the automation and redstone, it's probably not going to hold my interest for that long. Because I'm definitely, even though I'm really focused on building often, like a lot of my episodes on YouTube and stuff are focused on building, I would not be sticking with a game unless there was that redstone or mob mechanics and automation, like all those little things that Minecraft brings outside of just making things pretty. Mm-hmm. Making things pretty in itself is not enough to draw me in.
You really love functionality and to tinker with things, don't you?
Yeah. I watch quite a few creators on YouTube, and every small and large, from your huge Hermitcraft, Grian Mumbos, all the way down to smaller creators that only have maybe 1,000 subs or maybe even less. And recently there was a creator, and I'm not going to name names or anything, but he's a builder, and he's getting more and more steam, has way more subs than me. But he talked about how his world is frustrating him because it's empty. So he spent all this time, he built like a mountain range, all these like really beautiful builds. Most of them, if they have interiors, they serve no function whatsoever. Oh, wow. And that kind of stuff, I think Flip actually talked about this recently, where he doesn't believe in a central storage room. Oh, wow. Those like columns of chests and stuff. He's like, because what ends up happening is I'll fly away from my base or my storage room. I'll build this beautiful thing because I want to use this biome or this mountain or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I will never touch it again. I'll just never visit it again because there's no reason for me to visit it again. And so he's starting to build, like, his tree farm, for instance, is, 500 blocks away in this beautiful, like, whatever. I did that from the start. I very rarely would build something just to have a structure. Like, even the simplest things, like the barn that I built recently, I built that specifically so I could put my horses, and I wanted to start like breeding up a horse, even though it's like early game activity and way late game on the straight SMP. But I just wanted to have some place to put the horses and what have you. But yeah, I'm firmly of the belief that a structure just for the sake of beauty it's of no interest to me.
No, I understand. And I conducted a poll about a month ago over exactly that. And I had quite the turnout. It was about 650 votes. And
oh, wow.
The question was, what do you prefer, aesthetics or functionality? And it was a pretty binary question. I wanted to capture what people prefer, just 100%, not in between. And 7 out of 10 people, or 70% of people, say they prefer functionality over aesthetics any day.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. And yeah. I have to agree with them.
I love the pretty builds, but no, I like how your videos incorporate, like, you give a purpose to them. As you said, everything has an intent behind it. Like, you put functionality first, and then you make it really pretty afterwards. Like,
yeah.
What was it, that pond or that lake you were building last year on the show? You got it laid out, I believe, but I think at that time you were still playing around with like little features like the flora. I think you're doing landscape work still to it.
Yeah. And that basically was serving. So my main focal point of my base is the big greenhouse conservatory. Mm-hmm. And it's based off of a real one in real life in the city of Detroit on a island called Belle. So it's basically that I built the Belle Conservatory. It has a pond exactly in the same location as I built that pond. So it was basically just to kind of pay off. And I mentioned this last episode as well, that I really, after I built the conservatory, I've just felt like it wasn't part of its landscape yet. It was just kind of this build that was just like floating, I mean, it was planted, it had grass around it and everything, but it was just like, it didn't really feel like it belonged yet. So the pond was my attempt to make it feel like it belonged. That only has really an aesthetic purpose. Like, I don't use it for anything other than to make that conservatory feel like it belongs. But the conservatory is basically my storage room. So it's like, it's where does that line, where's that line drawn as far as how far out? Like, most of the trees on my island don't serve a purpose other than to make it look like a park, which is what I'm trying to achieve. And my most recent episode is building a fountain, which doesn't actually have a functionality. However, it's really important to the lore of the island. So that's a whole other angle that I'd like to focus on in Minecraft, especially in content creation, is I'm making things that are maybe functional farms, but I'm also trying to build out a deep lore that explains why this landscape exists in the first place.
I forget. I don't know if you talked much the first time on the show about your lore. What is the lore of your world?
I don't think I had it really established. It was just basically in its incubation period in the last time I was on the show. So the lore is it kind of goes hand in hand to the reality of the island. So when I first picked that location, it was this crazy high cliffy jungle biome. And I wanted to flatten it so it just look a little bit more, it'd be easier to build on. I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's the reason for flattening it. And in order to run TNT dupers, the flying machines, you really need to remove trees because the trees will just wreak havoc on everything. You'll end up with like floating stuff, like floating pieces of wood and stuff. It just becomes a really cumbersome aspect if you don't remove the tree. So I went through and I removed every tree. Me and a couple other players actually volunteered to help me out, and we just removed every tree on the entire island. So the lore starts there, except for that event having only taken place like a year ago now, happened hundreds of years in the past. Okay. And what happened is a scientist moved to the island and cleared it, or maybe a community. I haven't settled on. The scientist seems to be the antagonist in the story that I blame. And I have like cinematics and everything starring the scientist, which is just my skin with glasses, by the way.
Okay.
in a lab coat. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
So the community deforested the island, which ended up unearthing it, kind of like Lord of the Rings, where you have like Greybeard, like the big trees, the Ints, I think, are what they're called, the characters. Yeah. So it ended up unearthing the Ints, which are just creaking in Minecraft. So I really leaned in. Like the creaking were brand new when I started on Astrea. So this is like a new mob and new mechanic, new thing, like the Weeping Angel thing. You look at them and they stand still. So I introduced an Int type of character that ended up getting unearthed and then attacking the community members. And then they ended up trapping this character, this Int, I call him the first. So it's a creaking. They trapped him. And then they started using they discovered running experiments. The scientists discovered running experiments that the first, is a potential energy source with the resin. So the lore is that they were running experiments, taking the resin and then actually running all their power on the island using this guy's resin, this Int. Then he escapes. The Int escapes and starts just on a murderous rampage. And he can like clone himself or whatever. So there's just a ton of them running around, is murdering everyone.
Oh my God.
That's my lore. So then they build the fountain as a tribute, so to speak, to like kind of entice the Int to return to the island. And the scientist says, well, I'm going to take your essence and I'm going to put it in the base of the fountain. And the Int, the scientist doesn't know this, but the Int is actually going to corrupt the water of the fountain. So then so a deal was made basically. And the Int says, hey, you can do that. It's not going to get me back to the island unless you make the fountain the sole water source. That is the only way that anyone on the island can drink, is from that. So the scientist is like, yeah, great, because I just want to stop this murdering rampage. So I'll do that. So they built the thing, and then he corrupts the water, the Int does, unbeknownst to the scientist, of course. And what ends up happening is if you drink the water, you get blinded. And the way creaking work, obviously, if you can't see them, then they attack you. So basically, they leave themselves completely exposed to getting completely wiped out by the Ints. That's the lore. That's where I'm at right now. That's chapter 3.
You have this written down, huh?
Oh, I have I've acted it out. It's in my videos. There's 2 videos. Amazing. Yeah. Chapter 1 and 2 are in a video called We Know What You've Done or something along those lines. Cool. And in the most recent one is, I think I built a fountain with horrible consequences or something.
Must have missed those.
Chapter 3. Yeah, it's fine. Anyone who's interested in crazy deep lore like that. But yeah, that was actually one of not actually, that is the hands down most challenging thing outside of like big builds and stuff, is I wrote all the music, wrote the scripts, did all the voiceovers, and then obviously recorded it all, as far as like using flashback footage and what have you, in survival, a little bit of creative here and there for certain angles, but yeah, created essentially like a little mini movie that, that is like a prelude to some of my episodes.
I think that's really neat. I love that you're into the cinematics. I remember you you really enjoy doing that type of stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
No, that's
very
really
much so
neat. So between Minecraft music, because you're also in a band, the Belle Beat, and your hiking content, which you say that you do every once in a while, what's been taking up your most creative energy? I'm guessing Minecraft?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. Has there been any Minecraft updates that have changed how you play the game or make your content? Or really
I mean,
inspired you maybe?
Yeah, I would say, like we touched on this in the last episode a little bit, the copper golems were probably the most inspiring to me, as far as not only are they a cool little cute mob, but they actually, are the first mob that introduces real functionality in quite a while, at least. Outside of like, I know you can use creaking to, I think Tango and Hermitcraft used it for a game where if you look at them and if you put them in water, they'll float when you look away, and then they'll sink when you look at them. Cool. So yeah, it's like a whole like process that Mumbo, I think, actually discovered the whole thing, or at least he popularized the usage of that.
Interesting.
But beyond those like niche cases where people are like trying to figure things out, I mean, the copper golem's straight out of the gate. And it's like, yeah, this is going to organize your chest for you. And as long as you accept their weird, little nuances, it's like, that's great. I love it. So yeah, I use them as my primary filter, organization for my chests. And yeah, sure, they're not the fastest, and you do have to be like cognizant of exactly where you place them and how many chests, and make sure that the chests are within a certain block distance away from them and what have you. But I put them like right out in the open. They're right there. You can see them when you walk into my storage facility. They're the like focal point of the storage. It's because I love them. I love like their movement and the life that they bring in. Like you were saying, like, just placing them in your base just to bring in the life. It's like, I love it. I love those little aspects. Other things though, like gas, I was excited about the gas, but then when I actually started using them, because I thought I was going to be able to build all the trees using the gas.
Yeah.
Not the case.
No,
I don't really use the gas. They're just too big. When you're doing like detail work, it's just really, really difficult to get around. The happy gas that I have did help me build the bridge tremendously. I don't want to like overshadow that, because when you're building a bridge and it's literally over a body of water, in this case, it was over an ocean, in order to build up, to actually like get up to the surface, even you're scaffolding for 70 blocks, it's like, so the happy gas is a huge time saver for that. But even then, it was difficult to fly around. Like I kept on getting stuck in corners, and they're chunky boys. I wish they weren't quite, I wish their hitbox maybe was a little smaller than what they are, what their model is, but whatever. It is what it is.
I'm glad they've ironed out some of the glitches to them, because they were really bad at first when they came out.
Yeah, I kept on actually, during building of the bridge, I kept on getting kicked from the server, because the server kept on thinking I was flying.
Oh.
Like, it's the whole like anti-cheat thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because you can't have people like have those client-side mods that allow, basically almost creative mode things, or X-ray, for diamonds and stuff. We have some of those anti-cheat plugins. At least I'm assuming we do. Our server owner doesn't disclose that for good reason, but I kept on getting kicked.
That's funny. I wonder how many people experience that problem.
Yeah. Well, he said on our server, which, obviously doesn't have a ton of members, but he's like, yeah, that's a problem. So we've been experiencing here and there. They fixed that though in the update. I haven't gotten kicked since, I don't know, maybe month after the gas, like the release that happened like right after it was all ironed out.
Oh wow, no, that's interesting. Good to know too. Glad to have that recorded on here. I didn't know that was an issue.
Yeah.
So, content creation. You're always in Minecraft. Has that changed the way you play Minecraft? Like, is it more work for you now that you're a content creator, or do you still have a lot of fun?
I still have a lot of fun. I do have to like temper being a content creator in like, for Minecraft specifically, is you often will play the game and then feel guilty if you're not doing something that would be directly used in an episode or a piece of content. I fell into that a little bit earlier on. And that's something, if I, just speaking to any content creator out there, especially Minecraft content creators, if that's something that you're experiencing, get out of it as soon as you possibly can. Just play the game. Don't like people get burned out, for instance, and they'll just take a break from Minecraft and content creation altogether. I don't recommend that. What I recommend doing is just playing Minecraft like you used to. Like play Minecraft just for fun. Fire up a new world and don't intend for that world to ever touch YouTube or Twitch or anything. Like literally just play the game. Just do something different without actually making it part of the job of content creation. And that's the way I've gotten around any sort of like down in the dumps about, sub count or view count or just getting burned out about making videos and stuff. It's like, this game used to be a relaxing thing that I used to do, just to like relax and have fun. You just got to get right back into doing exactly that. And then it all gets better.
I think that's some genuinely good advice, honestly. I'm not a streamer. Obviously I just do audio for the most part, but I can imagine being a streamer. I can see I can see what you mean by feeling a little bit guilty playing Minecraft, not feeling like you should be streaming it or making it a project. Yeah, that would have to be something you'd have to get over, I imagine. So to you, what makes a Minecraft world truly feel alive? What captivates you about Minecraft?
I'd say like having functionality in the majority of your builds, having some automation or just some sort of movement. It could be silly things like having mine carts, with hoppers moving things from one farm to another, or, the copper golems just moving things from one chest to another. Or in more extreme, it could be the actual farm being out in the open. Like say if you're going to make a mob farm, have it so you can actually see the thing working, like obviously it's a little macabre to be watching mobs die, but stuff like that I think makes worlds feel alive. If you have like this beautiful mountain range and all these beautiful builds that are just empty, soulless things that you're never going to actually use for anything, then you're basically just creating a painting. And there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but I'm not interested in just creating a painting. I want to build something into it. Like I need it to serve some sort of purpose.
Have a story behind the painting or something.
Yeah, that as well too. Like the lore thing I think helps a lot. But yeah, just movement, lore, something beyond just pretty,
I agree. And that's the lore aspect, because my worlds have heavily in lore that I've made as well. And I think that's what helps me keep my forever world going. Because I see all the time online people complain or say, I don't know how people have a forever world. And it's like, oh, it's not that difficult if you just, I don't know, to me, like having the lore, it helps you expand on it, and there's something central to build around, and
yeah,
I think that really does help. And also, if I do get bored in my world, my forever world, I'll just travel 1,000 or 2,000 blocks and build a new base out there. It's the same thing as opening up a new world, essentially.
Yeah, that's exactly. I just recently did this where I'm working on this burn forest and it's taking forever. and I needed to, I forget exactly what I was doing, but essentially I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a break and just go to my lifelong project of trying to light up the caves beneath my base so my mob farms work better.
Yeah.
And, you know, since caves and cliffs are just like insane. Like it's impossible to like hit every cave.
Yeah. So many of them.
There's so in the area, you know, so I'll just end up going down there and, you know, I discovered another abandoned mine shaft, or I'll discover, you know, just something else. It's like, oh, I'm just exploring. I'm not even more than 200 blocks away from my base. And it's like, I've never even seen this area. I didn't know this was down here, you know? It's like I had a skelly spawner in this like super central location. I never even knew it was there. I'm like, I found another one that was way more inconvenient, and I converted that into a mob grinder just so I could get bones for bone meal. I'm like, man, I wish I discovered this like months ago. This would have been so much more convenient. It's like right next to my creeper farm. So it's like I could have combined those two things. It's like, yeah, stuff like that, exploring, exactly. Just going out and like checking things out, and it'll make things so much more interesting. Or yeah, even what you were saying, like just building something really, really far away. Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, just exploring. I like to do that. I don't consider myself a builder. I'm primarily an explorer, and I build these little villages and cities along my way as outposts. And that's pretty much my kingdom. I just love Minecraft because, man, I was introduced to this game back in 2013 by my brother, and I still can't get over the fact of a generative world, a procedurally generative world. It just blows my mind. I love it. I love discovering what renders. It's just so cool. And to me, that's what keeps me playing this game, is just, I don't know what's going to be around the corner. I just think that's so neat.
Yeah, when people say that, like, oh, I get bored, how can you keep this forever? Well, it's like, I just don't think they're looking at Minecraft the way that we look at Minecraft, or the way that a lot of people in our situation look at Minecraft, which the whole sandbox game thing is lost in them. It's like, did you get bored when you were a kid and you were playing in your sandbox?
Yeah, did you?
I never
Legos?
did. Or Lego, exactly, 100%. Like, I never got bored. No. I never. Hell, if you combine the Lego into the sandbox, and I could occupy myself for days.
Exactly, man. And you know, after talking to people on the show, it seems like a lot of people who are into forever worlds and building lore, a lot of people are also outdoorsy type people, and I think that has a lot to do with the exploration and appreciating, I don't know, the digital nature for what it is, you know, because I mean, I have national parks in my world. Yours is a park, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Yeah.
So I know, I don't know. I just think it's really cool. I'm always blown away when people, I don't know how I get bored. It's like, how do you you're in the wrong game. Like, you're in the wrong game if you're bored with this. That's sad.
Yeah, it's exactly. And I think that's what they're looking at it as, a game, which it is. Don't get me wrong, it is, but it's not a structured game. No. It's not a game for consumption. It's a game for creativity. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like the whole stat about very few players in Minecraft ever visit the end, or, you know, defeat the Ender Dragon, or even visit the Nether. It's like, yeah, because they're probably, most of them are just playing in creative mode, because that's the game.
I've never been to the end.
Really? Oh, wow.
I've never been. I know every person has said that to me. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. You don't have Elytra then?
Nope. No Elytra. Wow. My entire world is connected by rail.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thousands upon thousands of blocks of track. It's insane. And
do you know the creator Low Res Bones?
I think somebody mentioned this guy to me before.
He's popular because he uses a texture pack called Bare Bones, and a shader pack and everything. He wants to make the game look like the Minecraft trailers. Oh, so really? That's kind of cell shading aspect. But he has been playing in his forever world for years and years, and he doesn't have Elytra for the exact same reason. He's just like, that's how he explores. He explores by boat, by horse. You know, he recently got a happy gas. So he actually went to the nether and got a happy gas. And it's like, that's the first time he's flown.
Same. I have a happy gas and it goes really slow, which is my biggest complaint. I wish I had like a button where I can tap, 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 tap and it'd speed it up or something. But I honestly don't want Elytra. I think to me, it's almost like cheating. I
understand. Yeah.
It's too, I agree with the people that say that they shouldn't have incorporated rockets to propel you. It should have just been a glider. And
as the owner of the rocket shop, I'm
sorry. I know. I'm sorry, good sir.
It's blasphemy.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm not trying to put you out of business. I'm just saying. That's how I play.
No, I understand.
I'm sure
I get the appeal. I get the appeal, but when the builds that I do without Elytra would just be a nightmare. So.
Oh, I'm sure. And I know other people that use the heck out of Elytra for those purposes as well. Like Michael TBH, who's been on the show several times, is an Elytra, like huge into that, and a lot of people use Elytra, and I'm sure I'll use it once. I do plan on going to the end one day. It's not like I'm anti the end. I'll go there. I'll get Elytra, but I'm mainly wanting the shulker boxes, and that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, that's hard to do without.
Yeah, I love the ender chests. I have those in most of my towns, so I can. It's pretty much like having a bank account that I can access anywhere. I like that.
Yeah,
but the shulker boxes is one thing I'm really missing because I have a lot of crap. And be so handy.
I mean, you could do the whole flying machine thing and not actually fight the dragon and just fly yourself out to those end islands, but it's risky.
I don't know what I'll do when I get there. It's going to be I'm going to make it a big thing once I go to the end. It's going to be a celebration.
Yeah. I mean, in most of my worlds that I've created, and I've only created really a few, as far as solo survival worlds, the end was pretty late in the game for me as well. I was already straight up netherite, like I was ready to take down the dragon was nothing. By the time I fought them.
Nice. See, I'm such a slow going player. It took me, I don't have any netherite armor. I have a couple scraps of it. I'm just pretty much content toiling around the overworld. I just do my thing there. And yeah, like I said, I love exploring. So this fourth dimension stuff that I keep hearing about, I'm like, I don't need a fourth dimension. I'm good with one dimension. Like, pretty much. You guys.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know. People just need so much stuff anymore. It's just crazy. But anyways, I'm kind of straying away from here. I wanted to ask you some more questions about your growth on your work over the past year and so many months. I wanted to ask you, we kind of touched base on this a little bit, but not specifically. How have you experienced burnout with your content creation in Minecraft?
Yeah, close to it. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
And it's never because of the amount of work that it takes to like release episodes. It's always my own hangups when I start focusing too much on views and subscriber count and stuff like that. That's it. Like that's the only thing that burns me out is the whole why am I doing this kind of aspect? But then I just have to reposition things. I have to rethink and I have to just step away and be like, I'm just having a blast. If I just focus on editing this episode or recording this voiceover or writing this song specifically for Minecraft, which I do all the time, or working in creative for this cool structure or whatever. If I just focus on those aspects, I will never experience burnout. It's only when the outside influence and the, comparison is the thief of joy stuff enters the mind. That's when I start feeling burnout.
Wow. No, that's, I enjoy hearing that. Because personally for me, when I start to face burnout, I haven't ever paused the show and I don't plan to, but I've had my moments, man, where it's like, oh, I just need to take a break. But I don't know. Mine's more of time constraints is what does it for me. It's time. So I'm glad to hear that yours is more if you just keep focused on what you enjoy and not like you said, the subs and all that stuff, then
you're good.
Well,
and you're in a position because you have a schedule, right? That you're trying to release episodes at a steady cadence. Yeah. With me, I don't keep to a schedule or anything.
True.
I
forget that.
I just release things when they're ready. I mean, I'm conscious of the fact that it's like, oh man, if I take 3 months off of YouTube, it's probably it for the channel, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. yeah.
But I tend to have enough of a backlog of some, like, what my last 2 videos have been redstone tutorials, because it's like, okay, I have those in my back pocket to pull out, because the thing that I'm working on, the major survival thing that I'm working on, is just a huge project, and it's just going to take me too long, and I don't want to release like half of it and tease that out. It's like, that's just not going to be the best episode. I'm not going to be proud of that. So it's just like, all right, I'll just pull out a bunch of redstone tutorials. And lately that's been working for me. So it's like, all right, I'll just keep on doing that for a little while until while I'm building in the background, that kind of thing.
No, heck yeah. I mean, you have to do what you have to do to manage it. And no, I think that's a good, efficient way to do so. I was just curious because I know this isn't your full-time job. You and I work jobs, like other jobs. So I know a lot of content creators are young enough that they don't really have to have those burdens quite yet. So I was just curious how you manage all that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing I always, the content creators that have never actually had a 9 to 5, I think, I mean, and I'm not trying to be like old man, get off my lawn kind of attitude here, but it's like, burnout must be, that's nice. That's nice that you can do that you can be burned out and take some time off your content creation career. Hey, and they've earned it. I'm not trying to take anything away from these people that have been creating content since they were 13 and now they're successful YouTubers and everything. But when you work a 9 to 5 and you have a family, there's no such thing as burnout. There is, but there's, and I'm not, this is not a good thing, for like mental health or anything like that. But the reality is, under capitalism, it's rough. All right. Yes. Like, I have a 12-year-old son. Okay. I need to put food on the table. Like, I have no safety net. This is America. We don't believe in safety nets.
Nope. We have none of that
it's
here.
Disgusting and gross, but it is the reality that we live in. And there is no burnout. Like, I can have bad years at my 9 to 5, like horrible. I've weathered through horrible bosses and just horrible conditions. And I'm not talking about like manual labor conditions, just like, wearing on your mental health and what have you. Yeah. And that's it. You just gotta keep on going. Like, yeah, you can look for another job, but it's like, that's probably going to be crappy too. It's just, it sucks. So
it's our society. You're right, man. It's, enjoy it as it lasts. Young people.
yeah. That, and like, you have it good. If you're a YouTube content creator,
yes,
trust me, the grass isn't greener. All right.
Yeah, it's not greener out here in the industrial parks.
Exactly.
Keep doing what you're doing and be grateful.
Yeah, and cut back at times and stuff like that. That's fine. But you don't really know what burnout is. I'm sorry, you just don't.
Nope. But no, it's good. How many hours do you think you invest a week into your videos? I know that you don't have like a scheduled release, but
it's hard to quantify. I try to play Minecraft at least once a day. Unless I just released a video, then I'll give myself maybe a couple of days off.
Nice.
Or like I said earlier, I will play, but I'll just literally play for fun, like with no anticipation to create content out of the play that I'm doing. Like, actually earlier today, I jumped on the Astrea server and I just built a tree. I didn't record it.
Nice.
It was just, I just built a tree because I need all these trees in order to fill out like the park and everything. And it's like, every episode would be dedicated to trees if I recorded every single tree, because I'm hundreds of trees. It's like, at a certain point, I'm not going to record these, even if it's a big, beautiful tree. It's like, I'm not going to record it. So stuff like that, I'll do once in a while. But hours wise into the actual episodes and content creation, I mean, each like 15 minutes of content is probably going to take me like, I don't know, 20 hours, maybe even more. It just depends on exactly what, and that's just like editing, gathering footage. That has nothing to do with the actual creative design, which I typically don't record that, or any streams like in between stuff, like where I might stream it but not actually record it, or material gathering, because I typically don't record that aspect of the game either. So like 20 hours to actually record the flashback footage, edit it, get the audio all good, do the voiceovers, and then release it. And the thumbnail could take a few hours just alone.
Jeez. Just for the thumbnail, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't do any like the Blender stuff. I know a lot of content creators will actually like render their characters with shaders or with like 3D lighting and stuff in Blender. I actually just use flashback, but I'll mess with the FOV, the field of view, and then I'll do it in survival. So I have to like keep on jumping on the server and like pose my character, like look at the camera this way or stand 2 blocks to the right, that kind of thing. And then I'll take it into, I use Affinity Photo, which is essentially Photoshop. I'll take it in that and I'll cut out elements and then basically retouch them, like using like Photoshop parlance. I'll kind of retouch it to make it look almost, it'd probably be faster if I just did this thing in Blender, in all honesty, but I just don't know 3D programs that well. So I just do it the way that I'm doing it.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I know I have some methods to my podcasts where they're just my idiosyncrasies that are probably inefficient.
Exactly.
It's like, well, I'm just going to do it my way. You want to talk about the old man thing. It's like, I'm just going to stick with this.
Yeah. Like for instance, like just as an example. So my Copper Golem video, which is called nothing to free but their chains or whatever, which is anyway, that video. So it's got a Copper Golem doing the kind of warrior pose, or the I don't know what you want to call that, the star pose.
Yes, pose.
Yeah, the star pose with its arms and legs out, and chains breaking, which are Minecraft chains, and then 2 pillars on the either side. So it's basically, it was chained up and now it's breaking. Mm-hmm. But in order to get that star pose, you have to use the block entity of the Copper Golem, which is fine. I took it in Creative World and I built really, really far up in the air, and I did that. No big deal. But then I wanted its eyes to be alive. So then I had to go back in and take a screenshot of a Copper Golem with its eyes lit up. And then I had to Photoshop that on. And then the chain, like I had to take a bunch of screenshots. In Flashback, you can turn off like blocks or the sky and stuff like that. So you can get like the image is already cut out for you, basically. So I took a bunch of shots of chains and then like Photoshopped those like pieces and then shaded it all. It's like I assembled it. It was a composition that I assembled over like hours just to get that stupid.
No, it looks great. And you do that with most of these?
Yeah, not all of them are that much work, but yeah, I always do some sort of, Photoshop work basically.
Good for you.
On the thumbnail.
Go to ChatGPT and going,
oh God, no.
Render me Copperbot or Copper Golem.
My work forces me to use AI enough. Like, it's the future. So I avoid it in my own personal pursuits.
You, man. Good for you. Yeah. I like that. I want to, we're coming towards the end of the show, but I want to dive a little bit into your music, which is, you've been a musician way before you got into Minecraft content creation. I can't remember how old you were, but you're pretty damn young when you started getting into music, if I remember right.
Yeah, I've been in music now for 40 years.
Dang. Yeah.
No, not actually. I just added a little bit. It was 30 years actually.
Oh, well, a decade here or there.
It feels like 40 years.
No, I was wanting to ask you, how's Owl going with you, your band and everything?
It's going kind of slow. We had some health issues. My drummer specifically has had some health issues.
Oh damn! I'm sorry for that.
And that's been really slowing things down. Just things that like he's just trying to figure out, like working with all these specialists and doctors and stuff, trying to figure things out. But yeah, that's been slow going. And I don't want to, like, this band, the Belle Beat, we've been at it for so long. I don't feel like it's right for just me to be like, all right, I'm just going to move on to something else.
Yeah.
And not to mention the creative outlet of Minecraft. And then I'm creating music that I use in the videos just by myself, solo stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's keeping me, keeping my appetite satiated. So, Yeah. So the Belle beat itself, though, yeah, it's been pretty slow going. We do have songs and we're working on songs. We've been recording. We have tracked probably like 4 or 5 songs, and we're trying to get to a point where we could potentially release another album, which is usually around 10 to 12 songs.
Okay.
So we're close, but at the rate that we're going, it's probably going to be a while, maybe a year or 2 before we'd probably even be able to wrap things up, unless something completely dramatically changes.
Gotcha. Well, we'll keep our prayers out for your drummer here at Realm News. Sorry to hear about his health issues going on there. Hopefully he gets that all straightened out. And yeah, I look forward to hearing your new album whenever that releases. I do enjoy your music. Like I told you last time, I still have it. It pops up in my stream on my Spotify. I get your songs mixed in there. So that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I do enjoy it. I always turn people on to your guys' band when I talk about my show and I bring up your name. I always think it's really cool what you guys do. And so do you guys, since you haven't been too active making the new album, are you guys doing any live shows at all? Or are you guys been...
No, we haven't played live for a couple years.
Okay.
We played an outdoor festival, big one in Detroit, and it went really, really well. But yeah, since then, that was right around the time that the health issues creeped up. And yeah, we've been basically just trying to get together to record as much as possible. And we have been pretty good, to be honest. And my drummer just started recording at home, which I think is going to be a huge transformation as far as us being able to produce more. Because, just like everyone's busy, obviously. And we all know this, even without health stuff, it's just hard to, get everybody together and we just record at home. I have a studio in my basement, like a little home studio in my basement. So, but even that is just tough to do. It's just tough to find the time where both people are free and able to do it,
I hear you, man. I hear you. I can see that being challenging. People have families and lives.
Yep.
We're getting older. Things happen. Yeah. How's it impacted your Minecraft creation? I know you mentioned that you write music for this. Are you spending quite a bit of time doing that for your videos?
Yeah, that's a whole other aspect. Like your question about how long does it take, how many hours and stuff. If I included creation of songs, and that's a whole other, because they could take, sometimes I could sit down in an hour and I could have like a piece of music. I'm like, this is great. And other times I'm banging away for weeks on, like 40, 50, 60 hours on something. Then it's like, I don't even know if this is good, that kind of thing. So it's totally random. And typically how I approach it too is like, I'll write a piece of music, I'll use it in a video, and I'll write it specifically for that video. And when that happens, it's always kind of random. I can't quantify it. Like it's always, I'll be making a video like this Burn Forest, for instance. This is probably going to be one that I'll end up creating a track for, just because I feel like the weight of it, like this is taking me a long time. So I want this video to have some sort of impression. So I'm going to write a song for it as well, that will play during the build reveal or the time lapse or something like that. That's usually how I approach things, which just adds even more time to each episode.
It's funny how art works, doesn't it? It just compounds and just gets more complex.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's great. I like that you still have that as your creative outlet, your music, and that you incorporate that with Minecraft. Because when you were on the show last year, were you making music for your stuff? I remember.
Yep.
You were? Okay.
Yeah, I only had like a couple tracks though.
Okay.
My first ever video I created, it was something that I really like C418's music.
Yeah.
And like I literally have his stuff on vinyl and stuff. And I love his Minecraft music. And I created a track specifically as like an inspired by his music type of approach. I wanted something that was distinctly mine, but had some of the notes of, some of the hints at C418. I don't know if I achieved it necessarily. It's a little bit more poppy than his stuff, but it was like, I wanted, that's always been part of my video creation is creating my own music as, a theme that runs through basically.
I love that. I'm gonna have to go check out your first video. I think I did last year. I guess maybe I wasn't paying attention to the music. I'll have to do that. Audience, go do that. Go listen.
At that point, I probably only had like 2 or 3 songs that I just would loop and use different sections or strip out instruments. So, there's a more minimal version and then a more full version, stuff like that. Yeah.
Have you ever done, have you put out an album of your Minecraft music you made? I
was debating on that. That might be, like I was saying about the Redstone tutorials, like something out of my back pocket when I'm working on another project, I can just do. I was thinking about that with the music. It's like, I should just release that, because I got about 8 tracks right now. I always like the magic number for albums, and I'm an album guy. I like the magic number of 10. Like, okay. I think as soon as I get to 10 tracks, which I'm pretty close, then I'll release it as an album, just under my name, maybe with, I don't know, maybe RandyBishop Games or something along those lines.
I think you should. Honestly, I think a lot of people.
Well, thank you.
Let me know when you do, so that way I can promote it on the show. I would love to do that.
If I do release it, one thing that I'm certain of is I want to release it copyright free, so other people could use it in their videos as well.
That's even better. Yeah, let me know when you do that so I can let people know. I think honestly, a lot of people would love that. Personally, I really enjoy watching those YouTube videos that Minecraft did that are meditative almost. It's just pretty much the fox sitting next to the fire. It's like fire crackling, or like some of them have just ethereal beats going or something more meditative, like C418 type music. And I think those are really cool. But I would definitely check out your soundtrack that you made for your Minecraft videos. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, it'll be coming. I do have to figure out how to package it and stuff like that, because that was another thought I had is like, should I do just Minecraft footage, for 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes, in the background and just release these as videos alongside, Spotify and all that stuff as well. So
I think that could work as well, honestly.
Yeah, I just need to figure that, and I've never actually released anything copyright free, like on Spotify. I've released things obviously and put them on Spotify, but it's like most times it gets wrapped in the content ID thing. And as a music creator, it's like, how do I do that? How do I communicate with the distributor that I don't want this? I don't want to get paid for this.
That's true. I don't know how you go about that, Randy.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. But it's like, wow, this is a new thing for me. I don't know how to do this.
People don't produce free things usually. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that might be, you may have found an issue there. They'll probably look at you like, what do you mean free? They'll probably laugh like, free? We're supposed to get a little piece off this. What do you mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't even mind, like, if it's one of those kind of, like if I release it on Bandcamp, for instance, the pay what you will, like you could download it for free, but if you want to kick me a couple bucks, then you can do that as well, that kind of thing.
Oh, you have a Ko-fi. Too.
Yeah, my Ko-fi, I could do that. And then it's like, okay, maybe I do that. It's like, I'll figure it out. I do want to get it on all the music services though. I'd like to get on Spotify and YouTube Music and, all those Pandora and everything. So I have to figure it out. I'll figure it out though.
I have faith in you.
Thanks.
Well, audience, we're coming to the end of this episode. I want to let you know that all of Randy Bishop's links will be located in the show description for you to access. So please go support him. And Randy, I would like to go ahead and pass it on to you if you'd like to say anything before we wrap this up.
Man. Oh, wow. Right on the spot.
You're on the spot, buddy. Hey, at least I'm making you play music off on the spot.
Like I was wondering if that was going to happen again.
I mean, if you want, I love your music.
No, we'll skip that. My voice is pretty shot from talking for 2 hours. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, like the Australia server is, it's a whitelist SMP, but if anyone's interested in joining it, reach out, because our membership is always, it ebbs and flows. And right now we're in an ebb. I don't know. Would that be the down, waxes and wanes? I don't know.
Yeah.
We're in a bit of a lower count right now. So
the down part. Yeah. think.
Okay. We're in a bit of a lull right now, I'll put it that way. And, we have probably a good dozen players that are fairly active, but we could always use more. So if you're going through your 2-week phase, it's a perfect place.
Okay.
So
yeah,
reach out on Blue Sky or wherever you find me, put a comment on one of my videos, doesn't matter. And we'll get you on there.
Yes. Go find them. Australia looks like a fantastic server, by the way.
It is. It's a very, very nice, like-minded, inclusive people that are just welcoming of all types. Like, you don't have to be a builder or redstoner, PvP, it doesn't matter. You just hang out. We have games in the gaming district, play them. Pigman's one of them. That I made, just jump on, play.
I've made a few friends since I met you who are on the Australia, like old Schleddog.
Old Schleddog, yeah. Yep.
Schleddog. And what's their name? The other person. Oh, Samazon Rex.
Samazon Rex, yeah.
Samazon Rex.
Both old Schleddog and Samazon Rex are content creators as well.
Okay.
Dog is taking a little bit of a break, I think, from the SMP. I'm sure he'll be back soon. And Sam has been taking a little bit of a break from producing videos, but I'm sure she'll start producing videos again as well. So, yeah, but both of them are pretty active and pretty important members of the SMP that, if you like them, jump on, hang out.
Go check it out, folks. You won't regret it. Randy, thanks so much, man. It's been way too long. I know we've been trying to work out a day to get him on the show for the past 6 months. And it's just, I'm so happy I finally got you back on, my friend. Honestly, it's been way too long. Hopefully I can get you on much sooner than a year from now.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, a year is a nice encapsulation of time. So it's cool to reflect.
It is. I'm glad that, I am glad that I got you back a year from now, regardless, just because it is cool to reflect. And I'm glad to capture this moment just to see where you're at in this point in your life with content creation and your music. And it's kind of fun to see how you've progressed from last year and to hear how your island is almost brimming full and to see where you're going to go and see where you're going to go next, man. It's really cool. Great content. I love it. Keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for the invite.
You're very welcome. And audience, thank you for tuning in again to Realm News. And I will be seeing you all next week. This this Tuesday for a Realm News Flash, and then this upcoming Thursday for a brand new episode. We'll see you all there, and I wish you all a great rest of your day. Happy crafting. The Dark Lord signing out. Hey, Realm News fans, it's your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I am here to tell you that your support means everything. Spread the word by telling friends, liking, and commenting on Spotify or Good Pods. Find me on X, Blue Sky, Reddit, or via email at bio.link/realmnews. For more content, join my Patreon at the Copper tier for early episodes, bonus content, and newsletters. Find out more at bio.link/realmnews. No pressure, though. Just keep listening, liking, and sharing. That's more than enough. Happy crafting, and see you at the next Realm News.